Welcome to a journey through the lesser-known pages of history. We often see history through a narrow lens, missing the quirkiest of events that make it truly interesting. Let's delve into these curious untold tales and discover the bizarre, the weird, and the downright absurd. Ever heard of the Great Emu War? In Australia, 1932, soldiers were deployed with machine guns to combat an overpopulation of emus. Despite their superior firepower, the emus won, and the Australian military admitted defeat. In ancient Rome, unfiltered urine was used for laundry. It was so sought after that they even imposed a urine tax. Yes, you heard it right, a urine tax. Now let's travel to the 18th century. Did you know Benjamin Franklin wrote an essay titled, "Fart Proudly," encouraging scientific study into making farts smell better? In 1919 at Boston, a storage tank burst, and a wave of molasses moved at 35 miles per hour, leaving a sticky situation and chaos in its wake. Let's talk about a great escape. In 1874, a circus elephant named Big Mary was hanged for killing a trainer. The town didn't have a large enough gun to euthanize her, so they hanged her from a crane. Forward to 1889, the Eiffel Tower was to be a temporary structure for the 1889 Paris Exposition. Today, it's the most visited paid monument in the world. Imagine waking up to find your country has a new king, and he's only 3 days old. This happened in 1933, when King Palden Thondup Namgyal of Sikkim was crowned. In 1923, jockey Frank Hayes won a race despite being dead. He suffered a heart attack mid-race, but his body stayed in the saddle until his horse crossed the finish line. Did you know that Pope Gregory IX associated cats with devil worship in the 13th century, resulting in mass killing of cats across Europe? In 1859, the United States and Britain almost went to war over a pig. It became known as the Pig War and was resolved peacefully. Ever heard of the dancing plague? In 1518, around 400 people took to dancing for days without rest, and over the period, some of those affected died of heart attack, stroke, or exhaustion. In 1726, a woman named Mary Toft managed to trick doctors into believing she had given birth to rabbits. Yes, rabbits. Winston Churchill's mother, Lady Randolph Churchill, had a snake tattoo running down her wrist. It was considered to be quite fashionable in her time. In the 18th century, you could pay your admission ticket to the zoo in London by bringing a cat or a dog to feed the lions. In the early 1900s, horse manure was causing such a problem in New York that a special committee was formed to deal with the issue. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Did you know the pyramids were built by paid laborers, not slaves, as most believe? That's an absurd but true fact. During the 18th century, you could purchase insurance against going to hell in London and throughout Europe. In 1908, the Russian Olympic team arrived 12 days late because they were still using the Julian calendar instead of the Gregorian calendar. Vikings used the bones of slain animals when smithing new weapons, believing this would enchant the weapon with the animal's spirit. For 214 years, the Roman Empire had a period of peace and prosperity known as Pax Romana. That's peace for more than 2 centuries. Al Capone, the notorious gangster, started one of the first soup kitchens during the Great Depression. Did you know that Nazi leader Adolf Hitler was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1939? President Abraham Lincoln is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, having lost only 1 out of approximately 300 matches. The shortest war in history between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896, lasted for 38 to 45 minutes. And finally, the last fact in our absurd history journey. Albert Einstein could have been the president of Israel, but he refused the offer. That concludes our journey through the absurd pages of history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating facts from history's lesser-known chapters. Stay curious and keep exploring.